This stuff is super important. The channel you can't mess around with. You just need to know it. The channel could be the most important lesson that you learn on the water as a junior boater, bar none. If you've done your boat and jet ski license, certainly with us, you will have been rigorously tested on your knowledge of the channel. And there's good reason for that. It's because if you're not driving inside the channel, if you're not in your port and starboard marker, or on the correct side of either one, because there's very rarely two lined up for you. Usually you just got to navigate off one, which we'll get to in a second. You don't know if you got good water unless you know if you got good water. Let me explain that a little bit more. If you're new to the area and you haven't built up local knowledge, you haven't seen it in high tide, you haven't seen it in low tide, you haven't seen it in mid tide, you haven't felt a run out, you don't really know where the sandbanks and bommies are. You're just guessing, dude. You're just driving blind. So in that case, i.e. you just got your boat and jet ski license, or you've had it for a couple of months, you've only been out a few times in, let's say, the dam, you've just put in at the beach, and you're heading like sort of out offshore a little, you don't really know your local area at all. It's a very good idea that you stay inside your channel markers or in the channel, because you can be pretty sure, you can be 99% sure that you've got water there. Now, sometimes dredge maintenance isn't kept up to date, which is pretty shit, but most of the time in Queensland, in my experience, it is. And so if you're on the correct side of the channel, whether you're going upstream or downstream, in or out, you can be pretty sure you got good water there, navigable water there. But if you start deviating from the channel early and you really haven't seen the waterways before, you could just run up on the sand, dude. You could just run aground, easy, like that. Especially in some of the narrow waterways in the channels here in southeast Queensland. This one I'm in right now on the Sunshine Coast at Caloundra, the Pumice-Stone Passage. Man, if you're on the wrong side of this channel marker, and even in a mid-tide, in a 6 metre boat or more, I can get around it in a little 3 metre Tili or a jet ski, but if you're in anything more than 6 metres, you're on the wrong side of the channel in mid-tide, you can easily run aground here. Now, fortunately, it's mostly just mud, and there's no real rock and shale to wreck your prop, but still, you can be turning and churning in mud for 6 hours while the tide moves, you know, and lets water back underneath you. It's really important, man, especially if you're hooting along 60, 70 Ks on a jet ski. The last thing you want to do is come in contact with a sandbank that you won't expect, and I can guarantee you that. I don't have videos on that. I don't intend to do videos on that, but there are heaps of videos on that on YouTube. Maybe the algorithm spits one at you now because I've said it. Yeah, man, if you need a reality check of what that looks like, go and check it out. It's really not pretty. 3 things you need to know with the channel. 1, the markers, so identifying the 2 types of markers. Number 2, the phrases that you ought to remember. That's right, you've got to burn a couple of phrases in, which I'll explain in a second. And number 3, the direction of buoyage. So you need the marker identification, the phrases, and the direction of buoyage. Number 1, marker identification. Okay, there's 2 types of markers on ALA, which is what we're operating here in Queensland and the rest of Australia operates in. It does split halfway across the world, so if you're in the United States, it can be reversed, and a bunch of other places in between, but I'll just say Australia and United States are reversed. In Australia here, the green marker is our starboard marker. It's got a triangle day shape. Okay, the red marker is our port marker. It's got a square day shape or a cant. So that's the first one done. Red, port, square. Green, starboard, triangle. That's it. So it doesn't matter if you're in a boat or you're just over there swimming, or you're on the beach fishing, or you're just driving past. That bears no relevance to your boat whatsoever. The green triangle is always a starboard and the red square is always a port. That just is. Cool, so now marker identification is done. Next one you need is your phrases. There are a bunch of different phrases that commercial skippers use to remember a whole heap of shit. Different flags, different lights at night, just different phrases for everything. So phrases are pretty common. Phrases and analogies are pretty common on the water. And I'm gonna give you 2 to remember right now. So the first one that you wanna remember, just burn this in so that you can always make sure you're in the channel so that you can drive in the channel, is red right out. Okay, and I'm talking about the marker. So the red marker port marker. The red marker's on my right when I'm going out to sea. Red right out. Cool? So when I'm going out, put in at the boat ramp, heading out to sea, red right out. Go out, have an awesome day, kick some ass, catch some fish, kids have fun on the tube, coming back in. When you come back in, you can remember either one of these two. You can remember red to red going to bed. So the red marker on your red light, so it's on your left, because it's red right out. So now it's on the left, because we're coming back in. Red to red going to bed. Or you can remember green to green going upstream. Whichever one hits harder, and there's so many more, but I'm not going to bury you with them because it'll just confuse you. So there's our phrases. 2 phrases I need you to remember. On the way out, red right out. On the way in, red to red going to bed, or green to green going upstream. That's it, 2 phrases. So we've already covered off the markers. We know the starboard is green, it's a triangle. We know port is red and it's a square. That always is the case, forever and always in Australia. Now we've got our phrases. On the way out, heading downstream, it's red right out. On the way in or heading upstream, it's green to green going upstream or red to red going to bed. The third and final piece, and honestly, the piece that I think most people miss, the direction of buoyage. Technically, I'm in a river now, I'm in a passage. There's ocean out there and there's ocean out there. So by my own phrase, red right out, red on my right when I'm going out to sea, there's sea there and there's sea there, which would mean it's red right out down the passage and red right out up the passage, which is not true. That's incorrect. The only way you're going to find the direction of buoyage is on a map or a chart, or on a couple of different nav apps on your phone. Waves, we use Navionics. Navionics, owned by Garmin, is just an absolute thumper of an app. Get that, it will show you the direction of buoyage. And that basically just shows, there's a little arrow, usually a little pink arrow with markers either side, and it will always point in. The arrow on the map or the arrow on your phone app is your direction of buoyage, and it points into port. So if I look at a chart here, Sunshine Coast, Caloundra, the arrow points in the bar. So I know right here where I am, the passage runs that way. That is in, and it actually means into Brisbane Port, okay? So, and I need to know that, because otherwise I'd be on the wrong side of the marker. It's easy when you've got a red and a green, you just drive between the two of them, but you've never got 2 markers. Very, very rarely. Unless you're in a big harbour or coming into a marina, you don't get the port and starboard together. It's very rare. You have to navigate off one. It could be just a port, could be just a starboard, which is why the phrases are important. Okay, so I've got my 3 pieces of info. I know my red is a port and it's a square. I know my green is a triangle, it's a starboard. I know my phrases, red marker on the right when I'm going out to sea, red right out. When I'm coming back in, it's just reversed, red to red going to bed. And now I know to look for direction of buoyage. So this is the literal thought pattern that you need to just apply every time you drop your boat in for the first year. Because assuming you go out once every 3 or 4 weeks, most people, and then maybe a few more times ramp it up in the nicer seasons, recreationally, you will forget this shit. I guarantee you will forget it, especially when you go somewhere new. You will just 100% forget it. So this is exactly what you do. You drop your boat in, you're driving out that way, you ask yourself the question, because we know our markers, we ask ourselves the question, okay, am I going in or out? That's the first question you start. Am I going in or out? Which is a prompt to say, have I checked my direction of buoyage? Like, I know I'm driving out to sea, but that could technically still be in. So I'm driving this direction, wherever you are. Ask yourself the question, am I going in or out? And I go, oh, I'm going out. I've checked my Navionics. In is that way, so I'm going out. I was like, okay, I'm going out. What's my phrase for out? Red right out. Done. Oh, cool. So I just need the red marker on my right, which means green's on my left, and I'm good to go. The whole way down, I'm safe because I've checked my direction of buoyage and I've remembered the phrase. If I turn around, just say I'm in the same spot and I just turn around, well, now I'm going in, okay? So again, I could ask myself the question if I was confused. I'm driving this way and I go, am I going out or in? And I quickly check my map on my phone app and I can see the direction of buoyage is this way. So I'm going in. I'm going, okay, cool. What's my phrase for in? Port to port going to port, or red to red going to bed. So the red's got to be on my left, which means green's got to be on my right. That's it. Just keep the green on your right, keep the red on your left, and you're good to go. And that's the easiest way to remember the channel. You need to know the markers. your port and starboard, you need to know your phrases, and you need to know the direction of buoyage. And you can't have one without the other. You need to know all three. But it's super, super simple if you apply it like I just said. If you remember those phrases and apply it like I just said, I mean, that's the way we teach our boat and jet ski licenses, and it's rock solid. There's no legal obligation to be in the channel. I've said this before. You don't have to. You can drive wherever you want. But if you're new to your local area and you're still figuring it out, my advice is, one, go out in high tide, okay? Because it's less likely you're going to run into problems in a high tide, number one. So most of the water that you're in is going to look, most of the body that you're in is going to look like there's water there, where in actual fact there might not be. You can tell by the shades of the different shades of the water and the way the light hits it, which is we'll cover in another video. But go out in a high tide, it'll look like there's water everywhere. And if you've got a sounder, start sounding it out. Having a look at your depth sounder. Oh yeah, okay, cool, 3.5 meters here, and then you venture over near the bank slowly, and you might have 1.5 meters, you know? And if you're in a 2 meter tide and you've got 1.5 meters, that's gonna be sand in 6 hours. Yeah, you're gonna have 0.5 meter of sand in 6 hours in a dead low tide. So that's really important. Go out in your local area when you've got a high tide and sound it out. Stay in your channel, slowly deviate outside the channel, get a feel for it, then return in a low tide in the channel, and then have a look and go, shit, I was out there the other day and there's bloody sand there, or you know, there's sand creeping in. That's really important too. There's no legal obligation to be in the channel, but it's really important that you understand it. So closing out, markers. Your port marker is red, it's a square. Your starboard marker is green, it's a triangle. Your phrases are red right out, red on the right when you're going out to sea, and red to red going to bed, or green to green going upstream. So when you're going in, red's on the left. It's on the right when you're going out, it's on the left when you're going in. And the third one, direction of buoyage. Which way does the map say is in and out? And if you apply all three of them, you'll always be in the channel and you'll always be safe. Guys, I hope this is providing value to you. Thanks to my 1,300 subs. This is wicked. We're gonna keep throwing free shit at you. And if you found value from it, like and sub. If you found no value from it, don't sub. We don't want people in here that didn't find value from it. So don't sub if, I don't want to pity subscriber. Just sub if you found value and you think that you want to watch more. Have an awesome day, dudes. My number's on my website, so you can just call me and ask me questions if you have further questions. Literally call me, man, or send me an email. Let me break channel, a little bit of shit in the water over there. And it's really prescient here in the channel to know that, don't know what that is.